It is round 2 of the Under-20 World Rugby Championship. After a really exciting round 1, we're back with round 2 for another preview and prediction video. In this video, I'm going to be giving like kind of a summary of my preview for each game, but also my predictions for each game. So we're going to see how many we can get right. Please don't forget to leave your predictions and your previews down below as well. If you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support. A lot of rugby this week, the Under-20 World Rugby Championship, followed by the Nations Championship this weekend. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And for that one, there's going to be match previews, match reactions, and player ratings as well. So if you do enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and stick around. It's going to be very fun. So some of the games we have this weekend, we have Wales versus Uruguay for the under-20s, France versus Spain, Argentina versus Ireland, Australia versus Fiji, England versus USA, New Zealand versus Scotland, South Africa versus Georgia, and Italy versus Japan. So a few good games there. There was a few shock results as well. I mean, I was looking at some of the games and Japan was leading New Zealand at one point. England beat Ireland, which I didn't think they would do. Some really good performances from some of these teams. Of course, the Springbok under-20s, 104 points to 7. I think it was a really big defeat there for Uruguay. But some really good games this week, Thursday. Some really good games we have in store. So let's get right into it. Starting off with Wales versus Uruguay. Uruguay isn't that strong this year. They've got some really talented players, but I just think it's going to take a lot more time for them to get those junior structures in place to try take on these big teams. So I'm going with Wales to win with a very healthy score margin against Uruguay, but I do expect Uruguay to be a bit better than they were in that first game. They'll take a lot of learning lessons. All they can do from that first game is take some learning lessons and kind of apply that in the next game, and I think they will. But I think Wales will win that game with a healthy margin. Moving on to the next game, we have France versus Spain. I'm going to go with France to win this one. I do see so much potential in the Spain under-20s, in Spain rugby, in Spanish rugby. I really do. But France is a powerhouse in rugby right now. And I think the under-20s have been a powerhouse for a long time right now. And I don't expect Spain to get an upset against this France under-20 team. So I'm going France to win with a healthy margin as well. Moving on to the next game, we have Argentina versus Ireland. This is going to be a really fun game. Argentina under-20s are a bit of a mixed bag. They can be good, they can be bad. But that being said, they are still a really quality team. I just have to go with Ireland for this one. I think Ireland will bounce back after England. I thought they were very disappointed after they lost to England as well. And I think this might be the game where we might see the best from Ireland under-20, because it is a strong Ireland under-20 team. But I think they have to be careful because this Argentina team is definitely smelling blood right now. And I think they will capitalize if they get given the opportunity. So that should be a really fun game. And that definitely will be one of the better games from this round 2. There are some good games, but there's also a lot of games where you can see that it probably will be one-sided. But I've got Ireland to beat Argentina, but I will not be surprised if Argentina pull off a little upset. And I don't even know if they win, if it will be an upset, because they are a very good team as well. Moving on to the next game, a fun game in my opinion. Australia under-20 versus Fiji. Fiji's a good under-20 team. They're not the best, but they definitely are not the worst. They can put up a really good show, and I think they can beat a few big teams if they do pitch up on the day, and the big team were to just maybe not be on their groove, not be on their best game that day. But that being said, I do have to go with Australia to win this game. But this will be one of the better games that we will see this kind of round 2. Australia's a good side. Fiji's a good side. They're not the best side, but they definitely are getting better. The more game time they have together, the better as well. So I do expect to see an improved Fiji team, but I also expect to see an improved Australia team as well. So I've got Australia winning this game. I don't know by how much, but I think it will be a healthy score margin, but nowhere near like France versus Spain and Wales versus Uruguay. So I do think it will be a closer game, but I still do think Australia will comfortably beat Fiji in this game. But I think early on, Fiji will make it difficult. And you never know. They've won some really big games in this competition before. But moving on to the next game, we have England under-20 versus USA under-20. Now, I'm really happy to see USA under-20. I really do want USA's rugby to get a lot better. That being said, I don't think right now they're going to be anywhere near the England under-20 team. USA has they played some good rugby in patches. You can see that there's a lot of potential there. It's just those players haven't been playing at that level for the same time that these players have. These England players are really good this year. England's got a very good team, very well disciplined. They just look like a proper team this year. So I'm going to go with England to win this game by a very healthy score margin. But that being said, really happy to see USA in this competition. I've played rugby in USA before. I know there's a lot of potential potential there and some really good physical players there as well. So I think this should be a fun game to watch, but I definitely expect England to win it by a healthy margin as well. Moving on to the next game, we have New Zealand versus Scotland. Now, Scotland actually surprised me in the last game. I didn't think they were going to win their game, but they did. But that being said, I have to go with New Zealand in this game. Not their best performance against Japan under 20s, but also can't take anything away from Japan under 20s. They are actually not that bad at all, but I do think New Zealand will win this game. Not New Zealand's best under 20 team they've had in a while, but still, they drew against the Junior Springboks. They won their last game. They're not a bad team at all. And I don't think it was their strongest team that did play against Georgia under 20 the other day. Maybe it was, but just looking at some of the names, it didn't look like it was. So I'm going with New Zealand under 20 to win. But I do think it's going to be one of the closer games in round 2. That should be a very fun game to watch. And Scotland under 20s aren't that bad at all. So this should be a very fun one to watch. And very intrigued to see how New Zealand kind of pitches up after that disappointing performance against Japan from the previous week. But moving on to the second to last game. A very fun game in my opinion. They've played against each other a lot this year already. South Africa under 20 versus Georgia under 20. These guys have played against, this will be the third or fourth time they're playing against each other this year. And Georgia under 20s are playing some much better rugby now. Georgia under 20s recently have been known to be one of the better teams. I definitely think they are probably in the midpoint of this, how strong they are compared to the other teams. They can beat some big teams. They also will beat those lower teams by a healthy score margin. But I just don't think they have what it takes to beat some of those really big teams. And I think this year the Springbok under 20 team is one of those really big teams that I just don't think they'll be able to beat. I do think the Springboks, the under 20 Springboks, will win with a healthy margin, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 tries even. This junior Springbok team is very special. But that being said, I do think that the junior Springbok team this year is one of those really big teams. The last year's team and this year's team honestly could be up there with one of the best junior Springbok teams we've ever seen. And there's a few players not there. There's a few injuries as well. But this team still looks like they can really go out there and win every single game this year. So that's not taking away from Georgia. I think this Georgia under 20 team is very talented, very physical. They play the game the right way. I just don't think they're going to be able to challenge the under 20 team from the Springboks right now, who are looking like the team to beat right now. But that being said, that should be a very fun game to watch and a good test for the junior Springboks as well as a very good test for the Georgia under 20 team. But moving on to the final game, we have Italy under 20 versus Japan under 20. A bit of a curtain raiser for the Nations Championship game this weekend, because obviously Italy is playing Japan in Japan. That being said, I will have to go with Italy for this game. Italy's under 20s have been a lot better recently, like a lot better. They've been getting better. You can kind of see that the youth programs there are getting a lot more professional, a lot better. There's some talent coming through over the last few years. They beat some big teams as well. And I do think that them being a bit more consistent in the under 26 nations really is helping them. So I have to go with Italy to win this game. But I won't be surprised if Japan keep it close till the very end. Because this Japan team, this Japan under 20 team, is full of a lot of talented players. They like to move the ball around. And that's the thing with Japan. They don't play the game the same way that any other team plays it. They play it in a very special way, a very attack-minded way. And I think, honestly, Japan, if they did beat Italy, I wouldn't be surprised either. But that being said, I have to go with Italy to win this game. And I also have gone with Italy to beat Japan in the Nations Championship. But both those games should be really fun, really entertaining, and definitely two must-watch games. So I'll go over the predictions one more time. Wales to beat Uruguay by a healthy margin. France to beat Spain by a healthy margin. Ireland to narrowly beat Argentina, but I won't be surprised if Argentina wins. Australia to beat Fiji by a little bit of a healthy margin, but I think Fiji will put up a good fight. England to probably destroy USA, but USA very happy to see them there. New Zealand to beat Scotland, but that should be a very fun game to watch. South Africa to beat Georgia by a healthy margin, but it will be a tough test as well. Then Italy to narrowly beat Japan, but I won't be surprised if Japan pull off an upset as well. So that is my predictions. Let me know your predictions down below in the comments. I am so excited for the under 20 rugby, and towards the playoffs I will be doing actual match previews for every game with the lineups and everything. There's just a lot of games to cover right now, and the Nations Championship as well. So please, if you do enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.